Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm Todd Castleline, guest hosting for Andrew Epshaw, and we're here on beautiful Richland Chambers Reservoir. Richland Chambers Reservoir is about 45,000 acres. It's one of the biggest lakes in Texas. And we're out here trying to catch white bass and hybrids. But we're right in the middle of the shad spawn. And guys, anything can happen. When those shad move up shallow, all the fish move up there with them. So I expect to catch a whole bunch of other fish as well. Let's go see. All right. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Cobia, big one. And a monster. Look at that. That's a Tawakoni giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Welcome to Richland Chambers Reservoir right here in Central Texas. Richland is one of the largest lakes in Texas at about 45,000 acres. And we're right here in the middle of the shad spawn, guys. So we're gonna be targeting some white bass and hybrids. But I have a feeling we're gonna catch some other fish as well. Also, we'll have this week's fishing reports from your local region, from our insider reporters. But for right now, I'm gonna go get the boat launched, get everything set up. While I do that, I'm gonna kick it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, these Salooner tables are predicting excellent game fish activity Saturday and good activity on Sunday. Look for those prime daytime hours to begin around midday at 12:14 on Saturday and 1:05 on Sunday, with nighttime action kicking off around midnight on Saturday and 12:39 on Sunday. Depending on your local area, expect the sun to rise around 6:27 and set around 8:24. Nights will be very dark with a new moon. We're coming right back with fishing reports from throughout the area, plus I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Jason Shakerd on this week's Ask the Pro feature.
All right guys, today on Let's Fish TV, we're here on Richland Chambers Reservoir, right in the middle of Texas. Central Texas, man, this lake is something else. I've heard it's one of the best white bass and hybrid lakes in Texas, and that's what we're going after today. But we're right here in the middle of the shad spawn. I mean, it is dead in the middle of shad spawn. And my experience with shad spawns on all the other lakes I've ever been to, when those shad get up shallow, all the fish in the lake get up there with them. There's no telling what we might catch today. All right, we're gonna go out there, see if we can get some, hopefully some big ones and a whole bunch of different kind of fish. There he is, finally. Problem with the shad spawn is you have to wait a while before they start busting, but you can get out here, you can get in the right area and just start looking for them. They're starting to come up all around us now. Look at him right there too, right by the boat. Look at that. I can hear him. You just got to throw right on him. Just like that. And it can be so much fun. They're all starting to show up now and fight and eat. Look at them all. Get back out there real quick. There he is. Just another good, now that's a white bass right there. Now here's a white bass. Notice how all the lines are all connected and they're all straight. Notice how none of them are broken up. That's how you know the difference between a white bass and a hybrid, which is important because, you know, if you're gonna keep these, because I grew up eating these things. So I mean, if you're gonna keep these, you gotta know the difference between a white bass and a hybrid. I'd have to go look, but on our lakes, it used to be, and every lake's different. You check your local deals, but usually hybrids and stripers, you have to catch them, they're gonna be longer. You have to, like back when I was fishing on Livingston, they'd have to be like 18 inches. And a white bass, it would vary from year to year, sometimes 10, sometimes 12. But that's how you can tell the difference. You got to make sure that if you're going to come out here and keep these fish, like I said, keep all of them, man. They're good to eat. I used to love white bass.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here, coming to you from Cajun Paradise Charters in Hackberry, Louisiana. We're going to start out on the saltwater side of things right here on Lake Calcasieu. Tell you what, we've been getting a lot of rain the last couple of weeks, but fishing continues to be very, very good in spite of the rain. Redfish seem to be in your marshy areas, 1.5 foot of water. Throwing live shrimp under a 4-horse cork. The northern part of the estuary seems to be the best there. Trout action, when the wind's not howling, the trout are under the birds big time in West Cove. South end of the lake's also holding lots of trout over the oyster reefs. When you're under the birds, throw a light jig head with a down south soft plastic, seems to be the best there. And also live shrimp under that 4-horse cork is also catching lots of trout. On the freshwater side of things, I tell you what, we're starting to heat up. Summertime. Toledo Bend, the white perch are going deep. They're hitting the brush piles. 20 to 30 feet of water. I tell you what, brush piles, and found some big laydown logs. I tell you what, you drop something down there and lots of big crappie holding on that. For Old Cajun Phil, I'm Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing. May God bless. We're going to see you right here next week. Let's fish.
Golly. This is what we came out here to get, guys. Big hybrids on Richland Chambers. Oh, that's not a hybrid, guys. This is what's cool. Every once in a while, we come out here hybrid fishing. This is what's cool about this time of the year. Catch a big old bass. I mean a big one. Look at this thing. Woo! I'm a bass fisherman at heart, so this doesn't bother me at all. Richland Chambers has some really big largemouth in it. And this is what's cool. This time of the year, you can fish for both of them at the same time. And you never really know what you're gonna catch. Look at that one. Oh, whew. Look at that thing. On the old sexy dog. What's cool, like I said, during this time of the year, shad spawn, everything gets up there shallow. White bass, hybrids, and big old largemouth. Look at that, that thing's over 5 pounds. And they'll all get up there together. And so you never really know what you're gonna catch. And that's what's really cool about this lake. That's why I really wanted to come out here, because this time of the year, this is a special time of the year, the shad spawn, man, everything's going down this time of the year. All right, let's get her back. Richland Chambers, it's right in the middle of central Texas is basically where it's at. It's a pretty big lake. It's one of the biggest lakes in Texas, at like 45,000 acres, I believe. And it's just got a bunch of fish. I mean, you can just come here and pretty much figure out what you want to go do. You can go catfishing, you can go white bass, hybrid. There's crappie in here, there's big bass. I mean, you can kind of do it all on this lake. It's really, really a special lake. And to be honest with you, not a lot of people talk about it or know about it. They don't. If you notice, there's not a lot of people out here. There never really is. So it's a great place and a great lake to like get away from everyone.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Glacier Outdoor, outdoors since 1982.
Good one. Oh, they fight. They fight harder than every other freshwater fish. Good one. Oh. There's one of them big hybrids we've been looking for. Just had to slow down and throw a little swim bait at him. This is what's cool, man. So I'm gonna show you the difference between a big old white bass and a hybrid. First off, hybrids are usually a little bit bigger, for one. But a white bass will have all straight lines down him, all like that. They'll all look like this line right here, but a hybrid will have these broken up lines on them. And they're usually a little bit bigger. They usually fight a lot harder. That's a pretty good one. I think they got off the shad spawn and moved a little bit deeper. We're still gonna catch them though. There he is. Oh, I can't tell if it's a good one or not. Who knows what it even is? At this point, I've been catching oh, that's a big hybrid. Finally. It's just slowed down right after the morning bite, but it's still gets some bites though. Yeah, that's a good one too. It's the best one, hybrid yet. They fight. They fight harder than every other freshwater fish there is other than a striper. I mean, they just keep digging. They almost never give up. Oh. I have it on kind of light line to get that swim bait down there. I mean, as soon as you think you got them, they're gonna keep fighting. Whew. That's why I love them. I love coming out here and this is how I grew up. I grew up catching white bass and hybrids. I mean, I fish mainly for black bass now, but man, this is what I did as a child, man. And I mean, this is what got me hooked on fishing because it's just so much fun. It never gets old. I could sit out here and do this for days. You know, it's a good hybrid when you can put your thumb in his mouth and get him. Right now, all I'm doing, it's really not that good. It's just kind of high skies and not a lot of wind, so I'm getting a whole bunch of bites, but they're not really eating it that good. That one ate it really good. So I'm throwing just a little small swim bait. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. Another good hybrid. Like I said, you can tell the lines are all straight here, but then they're broken up on the bottom. Like I said, usually they're a little bit bigger. They usually have a bigger mouth too. That's how you can tell. All right. Okay, this morning I was throwing a sexy dog because I just wanted to catch them on top. I had a couple big ones blow up, but man, they were just missing it. And this probably isn't the most conventional thing. Since I am a bass fisherman, you kind of figure out what these hybrids and other white bass eat other than, you know, jigging spoons and stuff. And a lot of times you can just come out here with, this is a baby squadron head with the smallest rage spinner we've got. It's a 2.75 and the ghost shad, and that's really all it is. And when it gets really, really tough out here, when other guys are struggling, they're throwing bigger stuff, they're really trying to get them to react, sometimes you can just swim this right down in them and they'll eat this when everything else isn't working, when it's really slow like this. That's why you can catch them all day long, you just kind of have to slow down a little bit.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Athlon Optics, bringing you the very best in premier optics at the very best in prices. Athlon truly is the most bang for your buck. Now this week we're going to start at Cedar Creek Lake fishing for bass, and we're going to start with topwaters early in the day. I'd probably go about 2/3 of the way back in the creeks and look for some kind of vegetation, whether it's pads or grasses or flooded bushes, and throw a frog, or I'm going to work main lake points and along the dam area and other places I can find seawalls and riprap so that I can throw poppers, buzz baits, spooks, ploppers, that sort of thing. Later in the day, as the sun gets up, you'll find those bass the same place you'll find a lot of the crappie, and that's on the boat docks. Look for those shaded docks and try to get your baits as far back under as you can to catch those Cedar Creek bass. Now over at Texoma, the crappie are on a good bite right now, and as at Cedar Creek, you're going to find them on a lot of the docks and around the marina slips. Now you want to look for brush with your side imaging if at all possible before you start throwing at those docks. But Texoma has plenty of space to work with and lots of docks to look at. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Powerful. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
This is a place to come out here. You can come out here, catch a whole bunch of fish. I mean, I promise you. Still catching some, guys. Like I said, this is such a cool place. And you know, if you want to come out here with your family, you know, you got kids, you got a wife, they don't catch anything, you know, they don't really like fishing, this is a place to come out here. You can come out here, catch a whole bunch of fish. I mean, I promise you, kids, family will love it out here. It's so much, there's so much to do out here and catch so many fish and pretty much do this all day long. Like, guys, we can do this all day long and it's great. And you're gonna get some big ones mixed in with the small ones. But if you're like me, I just like to catch fish. There he is. Catfish. Man, that's what we're gonna do today. Shad spawn. We're gonna catch a bass, a hybrid, a catfish. We're gonna catch everything today. I mean everything. Everything. We're gonna catch catfish, white bass, hybrid, black bass, and now crappie. It's the shad spawn. I told you, this lake has everything. Here he is. Another catfish. Like I said, man, big old blown out catfish too. Oh, shad spawn. Like I said, it's so much fun just catching everything. There he is. Maybe a little bit better fish. I don't know. He's pulling harder than those other small ones. I don't know if he's gonna be giant. Shaking his head. Usually when they shake their head like that, it's a big old hybrid. Might just be a big white bass. No, just another good hybrid. Richland Chambers. I mean, it's a really, really cool place, guys. I mean, like you see, I've caught everything today. I don't know if there's another species out there that I haven't caught today. And I guarantee you, we can sit out here and catch them like this for the rest of the day. Man, what a cool, cool lake, guys. Come out, check it out. Right in the middle of Central Texas. Man, it is unbelievable place.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Tie One On, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time now for the Ask the Pro question for this week. This week, Walter asks, what bit of fishing advice has stuck with you? For the answer, we asked Bass Master Elite Angler Jason Shakert.
A little tip of advice that I've got way back when I started my career on something that stuck with me through all my tournament success has been basically understanding the spot that you're fishing better than anybody else. You know, understanding exactly what you're fishing, why the reason the fish are where they are. You know, using your electronics to really scan the area and understand it. When you're in a pack of boats, how are you going to outfish them? You're going to understand that spot better than the rest. So that's the approach I take into you know, catching fish consistently.
Thanks so much, Jason, for sharing that insight with us here on the show. If you want some help as well from one of the pros, all you have to do is go to letsfishtv.com, follow that Ask the Pro link, and submit your question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
You know, I had an idea today coming in this time of the year when the shad spot is going. I'm always going to throw a sexy dog. And Richland Chambers water, it's not crystal clear by any means. It's got some color to it. So I went with just a shad pattern, an oyster color. And I just know this catches big ones. And this morning, that's what I really was going after. I wasn't worried about the small ones. I wanted to catch really, really big ones. And I had a couple big giant blow-ups, ended up catching a big old largemouth. You know, that was unexpected. That was pretty cool to see. So, you know, I got the bites. The sun got up really early, and during the shad spawn, that usually shuts the shad spawn off earlier. But either way, I got to see some big ones blow up on this thing. You know, I've got it on my Lew's rod. You can do a lot of different, you can throw a lot of different rods. I'm throwing this spinnerbait target casting. It's a Signature Series KVD rod. What I want is something short, so this is a 7-footer, and it's not very heavy because I'm throwing braid on it. And I've got it on a Super Duty Lew's reel. I usually put all my braid on Super Duty reels. Next, and this is what caught just a ton of fish today, and I figured this would. It's a Rage Swimmer on a baby squadron head. And this is the Ghost Shad color. This is the smallest Rage swimmer that they make, okay? It's the 2.75. I threw that because the shad are real small and white bass and hybrids don't have a big mouth. And so a lot of times, if you notice, even today, I had a lot of bites where they missed it. But when they get going, you never miss them on this thing. Once they eat it, man, you got them. And if you notice, I caught a whole bunch of different kind of fish on it. I mean, this thing catches everything in the lake. I've got it on pretty light line. You know, you can get away with like 12 to 16 pound test line. And I've got this one. This is actually a bladed jig Thunder Cricket rod. It's Annie Montgomery's rod. It's a 7.3. It's about a medium to medium heavy power rod. I got it in a Lew's Super Speed Spool. And that's my setup. It's got enough backbone to when those hybrids start really tugging, I mean, they start fighting. It'll do its job. Hope you learned how to find them and catch them today on Richland Chambers Reservoir. Andrew will be back next week. Guys, I hope you had as much fun as I did. See you guys.